Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
The intergalactic market was alive with a cacophony of sounds, sights, and smells that both dazzled and overwhelmed. Mateo found himself in a winding alley filled with stalls run by alien vendors, each hawking products from the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Brightly colored fruits glistened under the artificial lights, ethereal fabrics shimmered like liquid among the tents, and the rich scents of spices wafted through the air, evoking memories of home-cooked meals he'd grown up with. Yet for Mateo, it all felt like a vivid dream, a world beyond his grasp. As he wandered through the market, his thoughts drifted to the loneliness that had begun to engulf him. A yearning for connection pressed against his chest, but among the bustling crowd of colorful beings, he felt like a mere shadow. Humans, with their unmistakable flaws and features, were the minority here. Still, part of him marveled at the beauty of diversity surrounding him, the elegance of the Drolans with their opalescent skin, the sturdy, tree-like Yagarans, and the delicate, fairy-like figures of the Sylphians as they flitted about. It was then that Mateo's gaze landed on a figure struggling with enormous bags that seemed far too heavy for her frail frame. An elderly woman, an alien, her skin a soft lavender, fumbled at the handles, her breath coming in labored huffs. Without a second thought, Mateo rushed over, instinct taking charge over his hesitation. "Need some help?" he asked, his voice warm and inviting. The old woman looked up, revealing wise, twinkling eyes that sparkled with gratitude. "Oh, dear child, how wonderful of you. Would you please? My back simply cannot bear these anymore." Mateo grasped the handles of the heavy bags, feeling the weight shift but managing to lift them with surprising ease. As he helped her navigate the bustling market, she began to chat about the parcels, trinkets for her family on her home planet, a faraway world he had only read about in sci-fi novels. The kindness in her voice was a balm to his loneliness, and before long, Mateo found himself smiling at her stories. "Thank you, young man. My name is Zura. I believe every good deed deserves a reward," she said, her smile revealing a heartwarming gap between her teeth. "Let me introduce you to my granddaughter, Nina. I'd like for her to meet the kind human who helped me." Mateo's heart quickened at the mention of Zura's granddaughter. As they made their way to the edge of the market, he caught sight of a stunning woman with flowing silver hair, vibrant green eyes that seemed to gleam with intelligence, and skin that glowed softly under the market's lights. Nina stood a few paces away, a mixture of curiosity and caution etched on her face. Zura called out, "Nina, come meet this wonderful young man." As Nina approached, Mateo felt an undeniable spark ignite within him. Their eyes locked, and an electric connection sparked in the air, a meeting of two souls bound within the vibrant worlds around them. Little did Mateo know, this seemingly innocuous encounter would set in motion a tale of love that defied galaxies, cultures, and the very fabric of their lives. Mateo couldn't shake the image of Nina from his mind as he walked alongside Zura, her warmth and kindness radiating through their brief encounter. He found himself replaying the moment over and over, the way her eyes sparkled and the gentle lilt of her laughter. But beyond the enchanting surface lay layers of unspoken complexities he could only begin to fathom. In his small apartment on Earth, Mateo often felt out of place. He was the typical guy, working a mundane 9-to-5 job in customer support, spending evenings alone with takeout food and sci-fi movies. The world outside felt heavy and oppressive. He longed for adventure, for something that would pull him from the shadows of his mundane existence. The market had provided a glimpse into a reality far beyond his own, igniting a flicker of hope for the connection he so desperately sought. Back in the present, Mateo's thoughts danced between excitement and apprehension. What if Nina was not just another fleeting encounter, but something more? Something that could change everything he knew about love, connection, and himself. Meanwhile, Nina sat across the table from Zura, feeling the warmth of her grandmother's support as she listened intently to the fading echoes of her conversation with the human. Their family had traveled across galaxies, and Zura had always reminded her of the importance of seeking love and connection, despite the odds. Zura's voice, aged but filled with wisdom, broke through Nina's reverie. "You should go talk to him, my dear," she encouraged, with a twinkle in her eye. "He seems like a good young man. It's not every day a human offers to carry the bags of an alien grandma, you know. There's something special there." Nina bit her lip, feeling the weight of her uncertainty. As an alien in a world teeming with humanity, she had battled prejudice her entire life. The societal expectations of her home planet loomed large. She was to marry within her own kind, uphold traditions, and ensure bloodlines were preserved. But in that bustling market, as her grandmother had flirted with the idea of matchmaking, she felt a twinge of rebellion stirring within her, a desire to create her own fate. She remembered all the stories Zura had told her, the legends of love transcending worlds, where two souls from opposite paths meet and shape their destinies. She had often found herself dreaming of such tales, but reality dictated otherwise. Was Mateo merely a curiosity, or could he be the spark she'd been searching for? That night, as the stars twinkled brightly over the market, Mateo awoke to the sounds of the night settling in. He peered through his window, gazing at the distant lights of hovercars illuminating the dark sky. The memory of Nina's laughter lingered with him like a sweet melody, beckoning him to pursue a path laid with uncertainty, yet shimmering with promise. He picked up a worn-out sci-fi novel, its pages fraying at the edges, and began to read, allowing the words to whisk him away to fantastic worlds. Between the lines, he imagined a universe where love flourished beyond boundaries, one where he could explore the depths of his feelings without fear of judgment, anchored by the thought of Nina and the adventures they could embark upon together. Yet, even within the thrill of possibility lay a weight, a lingering concern that their worlds were already destined to collide in ways that could lead to heartache. The burden of cultural expectations loomed like a shadow. He couldn't shake the feeling that, despite the excitement of their connection, barriers remained, ones woven from their vastly different heritages and traditions. As he drifted off to sleep, Mateo's thoughts swirled with uncertainty, hope, and the tantalizing prospect of what could be. He resolved to see Nina again, to discover the truth behind the fleeting connection they had shared. Little did he know, his resolve would set off a series of events that could reshape everything he thought he knew about love. As the vibrant colors of the alien marketplace gradually faded into dusk, Mateo found himself standing at the threshold of Nina's home, an architectural wonder organically woven into the towering trees that loomed over them. Bioluminescent plants illuminated the pathway, casting an ethereal glow that made the air shimmer with enchantment. Entering the warm, inviting space, Mateo was struck by the unique blend of alien aesthetics. A tapestry of colors and strange symbols adorned the walls, depicting tales from Nina's culture, ancient heroes, tales of cosmic skies, and rituals that seemed both foreign and alluring. The smell of something sweet and spicy wafted through the air, tickling his senses. "Welcome to my home," Nina said, her eyes sparkling with a mix of pride and excitement. Here, the vibrant alien charm he had noticed before was magnified. The delicate skin of her face shimmered with hues of blue and green under the artificial lighting. As they settled into plush, uniquely designed furniture, Nina's grandmother entered the room, her presence overwhelming. The elderly alien woman possessed an air of authority and wisdom that was palpable. Mateo stood and bowed respectfully, a gesture that Nina had explained as customary in her culture. "Nina speaks highly of you, young human," the grandmother said, her voice rich and warm. "I trust you've come to understand some of our customs." Mateo nodded, feeling a wave of nervousness. "I'm learning. Your culture is fascinating." "Fascinating, yes. But let us discuss matters of the heart," the grandmother replied, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "In our society, mating is a sacred contract, one that binds not just two individuals, but families and cultures together." Nina's expression shifted to one of apprehension. She glanced at Mateo, a mixture of fear and determination evident in her features. "Grandma, we should—" "Let me finish, child," the grandmother interrupted gently. "Mateo, I hope you understand that they expect more than mere emotions. Our traditions dictate much about mating. including lineage and expectations. Mateo's heart raced, and he felt the gravity of the conversation settling over him. "What do you mean by traditions?" Nina interjected. "In my culture, mating is not just about love. It's about unity, bringing families together, and ensuring the continuity of our lineage. If a couple does not align with these traditions, their union could face significant challenges." Confusion danced in Mateo's mind, his initial excitement now mixing with a sense of foreboding. Are you saying I need to prove myself?" "Prove yourself? Perhaps. But more importantly, you must understand that should you and I choose to mate, it will mean accepting the expectations that come with it," Nina explained, her gaze steady and sincere. Mateo inhaled deeply, trying to absorb the weight of what she was saying. "I want to understand," he stated firmly. "But this is all so new to me." Nina leaned closer, her gaze softening. "It is for me too. The way my culture views relationships is different from what you may know. And yet, there is a choice to be made. We both need to decide if we're brave enough to explore it." Mateo's heart pounded as he wrestled with the realization that this was more than a playful encounter. It was a journey into something deeper than he ever anticipated. "And what does that mean for us?" Nina's grandmother spoke again, her voice commanding yet filled with warmth. "It means exploring your feelings. To mate is to embrace the unknown, to unite across barriers that society has put in place. For you too, it would require bravery, trust, and a willingness to defy the expectations of both worlds." Mateo's chest tightened as he pondered the implications. There was a fear lingering inside him, a fear of not living up to their cultural standards, of crushing the tender connection he and Nina had begun to forge. As they exchanged glances, Mateo realized that he could no longer treat this as just an adventure. There was something precious between them, something worth risking everything for. Nina reached for his hand, her touch electric and reassuring. "Together, we can create our own path," she whispered. Mateo nodded, a sense of determination washing over him. "I'm willing to try, Nina. I want to explore what this could be, regardless of the challenges that come with it." With a newfound resolve, they began discussing the ways to blend their cultures, to find common ground that honored their unique identities while forging a bond that could stand against the waves of tradition. It was a step toward love, a leap into the unknown, but Mateo felt a stirring in his chest, daring him to embrace it. Little did they know, the road ahead would not just require bravery, but would test their bond in unimagined ways. The evening of the Celestial Festival arrived, a grand celebration that brought together both human and alien cultures in joyous harmony. Colorful lights strung across the trees lent a magical feel to the air, while melodious songs wrapped around the atmosphere like a soft blanket. Mateo, dressed in an outfit resembling the attire of a hybrid culture, an amalgamation of human and alien fabrics, felt a knot of excitement and anxiety twist in his stomach. Nina, radiating beauty in her flowing gown adorned with shimmering patterns, looked like a living jewel under the bioluminescent lights. Her eyes sparkled with enthusiasm, but also a hint of worry. "Are you ready for this, Mateo?" "Ready as I'll ever be," he replied with a smile, although his heart raced at the thought of being in the spotlight. Would the crowd accept him? Would they scrutinize his every move? Together, they entered the heart of the festival, where beings of all shapes and colors celebrated their unique identities. Laughter echoed, and music reverberated through the air, creating an atmosphere of unity and joy. As the night unfolded, traditional dances, games, and competitions ensued, combining elements from both cultures. Mateo found himself swept up in the excitement, performing ridiculously clumsy yet endearing dance steps next to Nina. The laughter between them was infectious, and Mateo felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. After several games and hearty laughter, Nina's grandmother appeared, her presence commanding immediate attention. "People of the galaxy, tonight, we unite to celebrate the sacred bonds of love, identity, and courage," she declared, her voice ringing out over the crowd. Mateo's heart raced as he noticed the crowd's shifting gaze toward him and Nina. "Oh," he whispered, a sense of foreboding creeping in. The grandmother continued, "We shall now commence the rite of union where couples, whether entwined through blood or by choice, can declare their intentions to bind themselves to one another." Mateo swallowed hard, locking eyes with Nina, who looked both excited and terrified. "This is where it starts, isn't it?" he asked. "Seems like it," she replied, squeezing his hand. As the music shifted into a more solemn tune, bewildering chants filled the atmosphere, and the crowd began to gather around them. The moment felt surreal as Mateo began to understand the gravity of the situation. The elders would be watching, judging. The celebration took on a more serious tone, filled with expectations that seemed to loom like clouds before a storm. "Step forward, young couple," the grandmother commanded with a twinkle in her eye. Mateo and Nina moved forward, the world muffled around them. A sudden wave of nerves washed over Mateo as he stood there in the center of attention. A booming voice from the grandmother carried a humorous air despite its seriousness. "Mateo, as a human, do you truly wish to mate with my granddaughter, forsaking all fears and expectations?" The crowd leaned in, their anticipation palpable. Mateo's heart raced, but he remembered the connection he shared with Nina, the laughter, and the warmth of her hand. "I do," he declared, feeling both reckless and bold. Nina's grandmother raised an eyebrow. "Are you certain? To unite our cultures is no small task." "Yes," Mateo affirmed, the joy in his voice now overflowing. He stole a glance at Nina, her eyes shining with admiration. "Then allow me to ask you," her grandmother continued, mischief dancing on her tongue. "If I were to ask you for an official proposal, would you be prepared to carry through with it?" Mateo's stomach dropped. "A proposal?" "Why, yes. A declaration in front of everyone. You must make your intentions clear to bind your hearts and families together." Her voice rang out with a mixture of humor and challenge. Realization dawned on Mateo. This wasn't merely a formality. It was their chance to solidify their bond publicly. As pressure swelled, he looked at Nina, who was blushing fiercely but nodded encouragingly. Before he could think it through further, Mateo knelt awkwardly on one knee, sensing the crowd's anticipation rising. "Nina," he began, humor laced in his voice, "I didn't plan on making this moment a spectacle, but here we are. I want to say I'm crazy about you, more than I ever expected to be. Will you?" He hesitated for effect, the crowd holding its breath. "Will you allow me to embark on this adventurous chaos called life with you? Yours, with all my human foolishness included?" Laughter erupted, and Nina's face softened into a radiant smile. "Yes, Mateo," she exclaimed, her voice tinged with both mirth and passion. She leaned down, pulling him up with her laughter echoing through the trees. The grandmother's laughter joined the festivities as the crowd erupted into cheers, chanting their names in unison. The weight of the moment transformed from anxiety into jubilation. The connection between Mateo and Nina celebrated by all. "Let it be known that these two dare to cross the stars together," the grandmother proclaimed, her eyes glimmering with approval. The music swelled, and the festival roared back to life. Mateo pulled Nina into an embrace, feeling the energy of their bond thrumming in the air around them. Their laughter mingled with cheers as they began their journey, united across worlds, despite the challenges that lay ahead. Together they danced, not just as lovers, but as pioneers, prepared to bridge their cultures and face what awaited them on this path of love. The celebration of the celestial festival raged around Mateo and Nina, vibrant and full of life. But amidst the joyous chaos, a tender moment unfurled between them, one that lay heavy with the implications of their newfound commitment. A few days after their public proposal, Mateo and Nina found themselves walking through a serene grove, the luminous flora softly glowing under the moonlight. The festivities had settled, but the excitement from the festival still sparked in the air. However, the weight of their promises lingered. "Do you really think we can do this?" Mateo asked hesitantly, glancing at Nina, who walked beside him with an air of contemplation. "I mean, merging our worlds and traditions. It's a lot." Nina paused, her gaze steady as she turned to him. "It is a lot, but I believe in us. We have to bridge the gap between our cultures. We can create something beautiful together." Mateo noted the conviction in her voice and felt a surge of confidence. "But your grandmother, she has strong opinions about tradition. What if she doesn't approve of how we choose to navigate this?" Nina sighed, her features softening as she gently took Mateo's hand. "I understand her perspectives. They're deeply rooted in our culture. But love is meant to evolve, and as we journey together, we can redefine what tradition means for our relationship." He appreciated her optimism, but couldn't shake the unease that simmered in his chest. "You believe that the elders will accept our relationship as it grows?" "It won't be easy," she admitted. "But if we stand firm together, we can show them that love transcends tradition. It can reshape it. I'm willing to fight for us, Mateo." The sincerity of her words warmed his heart, and he squeezed her hand in return. "I want to fight too. I want to learn and grow with you. Together, no matter the challenges." Their conversation flowed into the night, delving into their dreams, fears, and plans for the future. Eventually, they settled on the idea of engaging both their families in an open dialogue about their relationship, setting the stage for a new beginning. The following evening, they gathered in the heart of Nina's home, the air thick with anticipation. Mateo had summoned the courage to invite his own family into the discussion from light years away, hoping to bridge both sides of their cultures. "Remember, we're not just merging families, we're merging beliefs," Nina reminded him, her expression earnest. Nina's grandmother sat regally, flanked by family members, her eyes holding a mixture of curiosity and caution. Mateo's own family appeared holographically on a screen, eager yet apprehensive about meeting this new side of their son's life. As they initiated the conversation, Nina took the lead, introducing Mateo to her family and vice versa. The chatter flowed easily at first, but a stillness fell over the room when the topic of mating traditions arose. Nina explained their customs regarding relationships, emphasizing respect, ancestry, and unity. "In our culture," she said, "the bond of mating is essential, not just for us but for our families. We must unite not only in love, but in purpose." Mateo nodded, adding, "But I believe love itself should shape those traditions. It should be based on understanding rather than merely fulfilling societal roles." The discussion evolved into passionate exchanges about acceptance, the necessity to honor one another's identities and traditions while fostering an inclusive path. Mateo's heart raced as his words hung in the air, thick with tension, yet brimming with hope. Nina's grandmother placed a hand on her chin, appraising Mateo with piercing eyes. "Your willingness to adapt and understand our customs is commendable, Mateo. However, tell me, what can your heritage contribute to ours? How will you honor the bond you wish to create?" Mateo swallowed hard, his mind racing. "I can teach Nina's family about the beauty of flexibility and exploration. In my culture, love can flourish without rigid structures. We value support, companionship, and the freedom to grow alongside one another." The room hung in silence as his words resonated. Slowly, the tension eased, and conversations erupted around the table, weaving a new narrative of acceptance. Both families began to exchange ideas, striking a balance between traditions and personal aspirations. Hours passed, filled with laughter, shared stories, and bonds forming amidst the challenges. The warmth of acceptance seeped into Mateo, filling the void of uncertainty he'd carried. Boundaries began to dissolve as both sides witnessed the genuine affection that blossomed between the couple. As the meeting drew to a close, Nina's grandmother nodded thoughtfully, a smile gracing her lips. "Perhaps our customs can blend with yours through patience, love, and courage. But be warned, young Mateo, this path will require unwavering commitment." Mateo felt a wave of relief mingled with excitement as Nina took his hand, an unspoken promise flowing between them. "We will honor both our families," she said, "and together we can redefine what love and tradition mean to us." As they concluded the meeting, Mateo's heart soared, knowing they had taken a significant step towards building a future filled with love, understanding, and the promise of something truly extraordinary. The days following the unification of their families were a whirlpool of emotions, laughter, and newfound connections. Matteo and Nina embraced a world where their cultures intertwined, and both families rallied behind their commitment with a refreshing openness. Amidst the challenges they anticipated, a sense of unyielding confidence surged within them. One evening, as twilight cast a soft glow over the landscape, Matteo and Nina returned to the serene grove where they had first shared their fears and dreams. The stillness of the night enveloped them like a comforting blanket, and the air hummed with possibility. "I can't believe how far we've come in such a short time," Matteo marveled, glancing at Nina, who appeared ethereal against the twilight sky. "Neither can I," she replied, her voice light yet earnest. "We charted our own course and showed our families that love knows no boundaries, no species can define it." As they sat beneath a shimmering tree laden with glowing flowers, Matteo took a moment to reflect. "I never thought I'd feel so at home here with you. I think it's the love we've nurtured. It radiates beyond our differences." Nina turned to him, her gaze piercing through the night. "Our bond has shaped a new tradition. We've created a path for others to follow, showing them that combining cultures isn't a threat, but a beautiful journey." Matteo felt a swell of emotion at her words. He reached for her hand, intertwining their fingers and looking deep into her eyes. "I want to build a future with you, one that honors both our heritages, but also leaves room for growth as individuals and as partners." Nina's smile widened, brightening the evening around them. "No matter the challenges that arise, I believe we can face them together. You are brave, and you show your willingness to embrace my world with open arms." They spent a moment in silence, enveloped in each other's warmth, a cacophony of emotions swelling within them. This surreal blend of vulnerability and strength illuminated a path forward, one where they would carry their love into uncharted territory. "I want to dream out loud," Matteo said softly, excitedly. "We could travel together, visit my world, share our experiences, and learn from each other. I want to introduce you to my family in a way that nourishes the bonds we've built here." Nina leaned closer, a sparkle of mischief in her eyes. "And I will take you to the stars, to dance among cosmic wonders. We can merge our cultures wherever our journeys take us. Let this be the first of many adventures." A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, carrying with it the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Matteo and Nina shared their dreams, painting a picture of a shared life together, a life overflowing with exploration and celebration. They envisioned harmonious holidays, vibrant festivals, and children who would embody both their worlds. Yet, as the conversation ebbed, the reality of their journey loomed before them. The road ahead would undoubtedly present challenges, cultural misunderstandings, societal expectations, and the weight of family traditions. But in that moment, their resolve was unshakable. "We stand as captains of our own ship," Matteo declared, his spirit ignited. "And love is our guiding star." Nina nodded, her heart swelling with admiration. "Let our love be the song that transcends worlds, a melody composed of cultures, resonating through time and space." Together, they stood beneath the panorama of stars, feeling the radiant pull of destiny intertwine with their hearts. Matteo wrapped his arms around Nina, pulling her close. With the universe as their witness, they vowed to craft a life filled with love, courage, and adventure, unfettered by limits, celebrating the beauty of their journey across the galaxies. And in that tranquil grove, two souls became one, a melding of human passion and alien enchantment, a promise crafted through laughter, understanding, and the unmatched power of love. As weeks rolled into months, Nina and Matteo thrived on the fusion of their two cultures. They held festive gatherings that combined alien customs with human tradition, creating new practices that resonated with both families. With each adventure, they continued to educate those around them, sharing stories and laughter, transforming old tales into new legends, binding their families closer together. Their journey was just beginning, but through determination and love, they carved a unique path in a vast universe, proving that love truly knew no boundaries, uniting hearts across the depths of space.